Hello guys, welcome to my channel and thanks for watching this video. Your likes and comments are really a big support for me. Thanks a lot. In the CSS from A to Z tutorial, I will try to show you as much as possible about CSS so that at the end of this tutorial you can use simply CSS in your web pages as a web developer and web designer, or in your programs as a programmer. So before we start, let us define CSS and what CSS is. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and we use it to style our web pages or our applications. With CSS, we described how our HTML elements should be displayed on screen. For CSS codes, you can use any editor you want. For example, you can use Notepad that I have it here, or in some cases I have I have used PHP Designer 8. It's a alt tool and it is not specifically for CSS and HTML, but it has also this ability. But in this tutorial, I will recommend you to use Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code is a very good editor and can make the job simpler. So if you have installed it on your system, it's good, and if not, I will show you how you can install it. I just open the browser and here I will type Visual Studio and I press enter, and after that I scroll down. And here you see https://code.visualstudio.com, and here you can download Visual Studio for free, and I click on it, and after that you can download the exe file and make a double click on it and install it on your system. I don't do it because I have already done it and I have it. Before starting to go further, I should tell you that Visual Studio works with folders. It means that we have to create a folder for our project at first, and after that we open this folder with Visual Studio and we go step for step further. So first I create a new folder just by simply right click anywhere in my PC and new folder, and I select the name for that. It is up to you, whatever you want, but I would say CSS project, for example, and I press enter. So this CSS project, this folder will be our project, and we will save all of our files, CSS files, HTML files, because we need HTML also, and whatever we want for the project, we save it in this folder here. So let's go. I open the Visual Studio, and here you see the first page of Visual Studio, and if you install it for the first time, you may get here a news page or a welcome page and things like that. But because I've used it before, also you see here, so it will looks something else and different from your Visual Studio maybe. Okay, we don't need it here. Before we start to work with Visual Studio, you see that here there are some key combinations, and by pressing these key combinations you can have these things here. For example, show all comments with these key combinations, but we don't need it right now. Okay, I just go here, Explorer, and I click on that. And after that, we have an option, and this option is Open Folder. We click on it, and we navigate to the folder that we already created for our project, and it was CSS project. I select it, select a folder, and you see our project will be opened by Visual Studio. Okay, now this is our project and we don't have any file in that. So for using CSS, we need a file for our CSS tags, and we need a file also for our HTML tags. So we have to create two files here. We have this option here for creating a new file with a mouse, and just make a left click on that. After that, we have to select a name for our HTML tags. In this case, I would say HTML codes, and the format must be HTML. It is up to you what kind of name you select for this file, but I just say HTML codes, but the format must be HTML. After that, I press enter, and you see that we have a HTML file. And we need a CSS file also, so we create another file just by clicking on that, and this time I say CSS codes .css. The CSS file must be in .css format, and the name of that is also up to you. You can use any name that you want, but the format must be .css. And I press enter. You see that we have now a file for our CSS tags and a file for our HTML. But I would like to create a new folder also here. This time a new folder. Maybe we use some pictures for our project also. And for that we need a folder to save our picture in that. So I create a new folder, and the folder will be pics, for example. And I press enter. It will be created. So now we have our files, we have our folders, and we can start our project. The first thing that we have to do is we open the HTML file. So for opening that, you can either just simply click on it, or here go to these tabs and click on these tabs, and you can have the file open. So we open the HTML file and we just type HTML. When I type it, you see that Visual Studio offers us some options automatically, and this is the good thing that Visual Studio offers. I click on this option, HTML:5. As far as I know, it is the last version of HTML, so I click on it, and after that automatic we will have some tags and some things here. What you see here is the standard structure of a HTML5. Here on top of the tags, you see that document type is HTML, and the language of this HTML document is English. After that, we have the head tags and and between the head tags we have the meta tags and the title tags. So if you want to know what these meta tags are, you just can simply with the mouse go over them, and you get a brief explanation about these meta tags. So they are by standard by default there, and under the title by default it is document. Whatever you write here between these between the title tag, it will be showed in the browser. When you try to access, when you open your web page in browser, you will see the name here as the title. So in this case, I just change it as my web page, for example, and I will show you what happens. Right now we have everything here. and we can start. The first tag that I will show you is H. The other good thing about Visual Studio is when you select a tag, it gives you a very quick explanation about the tag. The H1 element represents a section heading. These H from 1 to 6, they are for headings. So I select 1 and I close the tag. And after that, you see it will be automatically, the tag will be closed. And here between the tag is the place that we can write our text, and whatever we write here between these tag will be as a head in our web page. That will be showed as a head in our web page. For example, I'll type "Welcome to my page" or "Welcome to my channel" in this case. So in the browser, I will see that. This is the only thing that I see in the browser. So I save it, I save the file, and we open our file in browser and we see what will be happen. For saving the file, you have two options. You can either go to File, and here we have the Save options. If you just click on Save, only this page, the HTML page, will be saved. If you click on Save All, whatever you have in the HTML file and in the CSS file, everything will be saved. And if you want to save it as something else, you can click on Save As. But I just click on Save All. You can either click on Save All here, or you can just press Ctrl and S on your keyboard. In this case, everything will also be saved. So we have saved it, and we want to show how it looks like. Okay, for that we go back again to the folder of our project. We open it with double click this time, and you see that we have our files also here. These are the files and folder that we just created in Visual Studio. And if you want to see how your codes, how your web page looks like, you have to open this one, the file in HTML format. So I make a double click on that and maximize here. You see that "Welcome to my channel," and it is exactly what we have typed here. So "Welcome to my channel," it means that everything here, oh, welcome, I've tapped it false, sorry. So it is with one M, and one more time, save all, and again, and I make a refresh, and "Welcome to my channel." You see, it works. But yeah, that is the problem. It is so simple. We just have some words here, and the background is so simple, and CSS is there to help us to make this design a little bit better. So now we try to add the first CSS tag to our project. Before I do that, I will explain you that we can use CSS tags in our HTML file in 3 ways. We have 2 options to use CSS tags. The first one is inline method. Inline method means we can add directly the CSS tags to the HTML tag. So for that, I just go here, make a space, and I type style. You see, when I type style, style will come, and it is the good thing of Visual Studio. And with a quick explanation, I just click on it. And after that, for example, we want just to change the color of our text. we type color, and color will come automatically. You should just press enter or just select it, and after that you use the color that you want. For example, in this case we say brown. So this is the first method, and it is the inline method. You see that the CSS tag is inline with the HTML tag. So we save our project and we go to browser and we refresh the browser. You see the color of the text is now brown, is the color that we have used it here. That is the first method. The second method is internal. So for that, between the head tags, we press enter, we make a new line, and we just type, we open a tag and we type style, and we press enter and we close the tag. You see that we have two the style tag open and close, and now we can use our CSS tag between this style tag. I just press enter and make a new line, and in our new line we say that we want to change the color of this tag. The tag is H1, so here we type also H1, and after that we make a space and we open curly brackets and we make an enter, and what we want to change is color, so we type again color. You see that color will automatically be here. We just click on it, and this time we select another color for that. Okay, now there is a very important point you have to know. In CSS, the HTML tag will always take this style, which always takes the inline style. It means that even if you write some CSS tags here, but the style will still be this one. So we save the project and we check if it is so or not. You see that the color is still brown because this tag takes this one. So if you want to change it, we have to delete this style here, the inline style, and sorry, H1 was that, and here we have select this color, but this time internal. So we save our project one more time, and we go to browser and we make a refresh, and you see this time the color will be blue. That is the second method that you can use CSS tags and CSS style for your HTML. And the third one is external. External means this file that we have created for our CSS. It means that we have to connect this CSS file with our HTML file so that the HTML file can use the tags in this file. So how we can connect them together? So I just delete this one also. So this method was intern. I just delete it. In order to connect our CSS file with our HTML file, in the head tag, I press enter again, and we have to add, we type link, after that rel. You see it will come also automatically. In the rel equals double quotation, and in that we type style sheet. We type style sheet, and after that we make a space and href. And href, here we should give the path of our CSS file. So in this case we have saved our HTML and our CSS file in the same folder, so we don't need to give the absolute path of our CSS file, and it is enough if we just type here CSS codes.css. You see, it will automatically comes up, and that is the name of our CSS file. And I close link. Okay, now we have connected our CSS file with our HTML file. So from now on, we just write our CSS tags in this file, and it will be using the HTML. So I open the CSS file, and in the CSS file, as you see, we have only one HTML tag, and it is an h1 tag. So in the CSS file, we type again h1, and after that space and curly bracket open, and here we want to change the color again. Select color, and this time we select this one, and after that we saved all of the project, and we go back sorry, we go back and we check if everything works or not. I just make a refresh, and you see the color will be changed, and it takes the color that we have defined here in our file CSS. So guys, with these three methods, you can use CSS tags in your web pages. And yeah, that's it in this video. In the next video, we go further, and I will show you more tags, more CSS tags. CSS is really interesting and offers us too many abilities and makes too many possibilities for us. So don't miss the videos if you want to learn more. Thanks for watching.